that there's a new show coming on soon that's called, can't believe they called it this.
Ruther, we've been through this, okay? The name of the show is Conservative is Not a Curse Word.
Conservative is not a curse word.
Yes, just read the damn copy, okay? Your check bounced.
Damn it, I knew I should have talked to Andrew instead
It's
of
not
you.
about talking to
It's
Andrew.
not my fault the welfare
It's
check
not a
didn't come
welfare
in
check.
on
It's
time.
your check. Your check bounced like a dodgeball off a fat kid's face. Will you please just read the copy? Please.
All right.
Please.
I'll do what you ask.
Thank you. Sometime today. Read
This is Ruther P. Justice, your future vice president of these
here
here
we
United
go.
States of America.
Oh,
well, I was asked by Freeze to inform everyone
Contractually
listening
obligated.
that there's a new show coming on soon that's called
Read it.
Conservative is Not a Curse Word.
Thank you.
With Jolton Joe?
Yes. Jolton Joe. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Conservative is not a curse word with Jolton Joe right here on the Zero G Network. Listen in or don't. I don't give a rat's behind.
Seriously. Joe and I did this in 10 minutes. Okay, we've been here 9 hours. 9 hours to come up with or don't. See, conservative is not a curse word. 5 words.
So, let me get this straight. We're not left. We're not right. We're conservative,
Conservative.
which is not a curse word.
It's not a curse word.
Conservative is not a curse word.
Conservative is not a curse word.
Conservative is not a curse word. Conservative is not a curse word. Conservative.
Conservative is not a curse word. Is
Conservative.
not a curse word.
Definitely not.
Nope. Right here on the Zero G Network.
Hey, it's Jolton Joe here. How y'all doing this week? I have to apologize in advance if I sound kind of sullen or melancholy. I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this show to a very dear and old good friend that passed on Friday in Afghanistan. Little is known exactly what his cause of death is. The Pentagon calls it a non-combat incident, but who believes the Pentagon in stories like this? Anyway, his name was Chris Wilbur, and he was one of the most honorable men that I have ever had the pleasure of knowing as a friend. We had a lot of good times, and he served this country for over a decade. He was infantry. He was a sergeant. He was a father. He was a good husband. And he will be missed and loved by many. So, that being said, let's move on.
You okay, man?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. In the studio today, hello, I am Freeze Smith, and you are listening to Conservative is Not a Curse Word. It's going to be a very unbiased view of political topics, looking at the political landscape, things that even we here on the bottom floor of things, as I like to say, need to remain informed about, need to remain knowledgeable about. These things do affect us.
Well, we do have very busy lives, all of us, and not everybody has the time or the patience to sift through all of this media madness that we call our country today. So that's what I do. I do it for you guys. I sift through the shit and try to find the good stuff, the stuff you need to know about, the stuff that you may have not had time in your busy life to catch.
Nice. Nice. And so let's just jump right to it. I do believe you have a survival tip of the week?
I do, in fact.
I love this. This is
Let's get to our sponsor first.
Yes, of course.
Walters Foreign Car Service in Brentwood, 2828 Brentwood Boulevard. Walters Foreign Car Service has been providing quality car repair for European vehicles and Japanese vehicles, well, since they've been in this country for almost 60 years, people. 2 generations. You can reach Ray at 314-962-2352, or you can make an appointment online at waltersfcs.com.
Nice. So if I have a Porsche, I can take it there.
Oh, yeah, I love them.
And if I have a Jetta, I can take it there.
You can. Even the infamous TDI.
One of those other cars that I can't afford.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's great.
No, the controversial TDI. The diesel that did the deed.
Don't get me started. You know what? You'd be proud of me because you know I'm not a car guy, but yesterday I watched a documentary on the hypercar.
Oh, I did too.
Yes.
Apex?
Yes.
It was
that's the
really
one.
good.
Yes, I watched that.
Yes,
I did.
it was
So,
really good.
I could blather on all day about that.
Oh, I could
so,
too.
Walter's
and
Foreign Car Service.
you should check. Yeah, Walter's Foreign Car Service.
Yes.
Yes.
Get your Porsches and your Jettas and your
Benzos.
Yes. Subaru. Do they do Subaru?
We do Subarus as well.
Yes.
Hondas, Toyotas, Subarus, Nissans, Acuras, Infinities. We
If
do them
you've
all.
ever seen a redneck yell at it, Walter will fix it.
Absolutely.
That's the slogan right there.
From air cooled to
me.
brand new, we do it all.
You are all welcome. So, Joe, we've been kicking around this project for a while,
We have.
and I know that you have a lot of just simply delicious content to bring to us.
Always.
a lot of positive stuff. I'm looking forward to the. Well, I'm not going to give it away, but let's just say that if we don't do it, I'm going to feel blue.
I know.
So I'm really looking forward to that segment.
Yeah.
Give me the survival tip of the week.
Okay, the survival tip of the week is in your survival kit or loadout for bug out, you should definitely keep a 9-volt battery and steel wool.
Wait. I think I know why.
Do you?
But tell me, hold on. Tell me if I'm right. It has to do with fire.
Fire.
Yes.
It will light wet shit on fire. It will ignite a fire in the rain.
Now,
And
so,
it's so simple and easy to obtain these things.
yeah. Okay. So wait, you have the steel wool, you have the 9-volt battery. You just like rub it on there.
Yeah, you just hook them together and it starts to glow and make
You
continuity.
just leave it
yeah,
on there.
it's through resistance and continuity. It makes heat,
Right.
and then you put your tender on top of that, and it just
Really?
yeah.
Now, is it a one-use thing?
No, actually, it only takes up about a dime-sized piece of steel wool each time that you use it.
But can you use the same
Multiple
battery?
times, yes,
So,
like
okay.
10 to 20 times, depending on whether the battery's
nice.
good.
So,
Yeah.
so you're out roughing it. You got at least 4 days in the woods. You've got fire.
You've got fire.
Awesome. I like that.
Or if we have a complete societal breakdown and all you can find is a 9-volt battery and some steel wool, you can make fire.
See,
I'm gonna have to go try that.
my version was a little more happy. I felt like, but okay.
Well, one eye on the future and one eye on the past.
That's that'd make me look like Debo from Friday. Okay.
Also, in an emergency situation when water is not available through the tap, always remember that you have a 30-gallon hot water heater. Unless, of course, you're rich and you have one of those tankless deals. But most people have a 30-gallon water supply that they forgot about.
Right. So, okay, I got you.
So that's the survival tip of the week.
I got you.
For the week and by the week.
Hot water and fire. Go out to the woods. Have a cookout.
Hey, we like contrast on this show.
We love it. I love it. So, give it to me. What do you got for me next?
Well, it's the bad
Is it?
joke of the week.
Oh, no.
Why does Calvin Brodus need an umbrella? Faux drizzle.
I'm mad that he giggled while he told the joke. Calvin Brodus is Snoop Dogg.
Hey, I'm going to have to pay him now.
Wait,
Why are you using his name? I'm going to have to pay him now.
I think... No, he's going to hear that joke and realize you're broke.
He's going to be like, don't quit
Right.
your day job.
Right. He might send you some money. That's in fact, Snoop Dogg, if you would like to sponsor Conservative is Not a Curse Word, please contact us here at the
We
Zero
would
G Network.
definitely love to have Snoop Dogg as a sponsor. Oh, that would be delicious.
That was he meant awesome, Snoop. He meant awesome. I got to teach you about that use of the word delicious.
Oh.
It's apropos in some
I
places.
meant awesome. I meant awesome.
So we're talking. We're going to be talking about things in the political landscape. Give me your short-term prediction, because we've been talking about this election. Oh, see, I heard it. I heard it. I heard the sigh.
Well,
Yeah.
that's probably the most complicated answer that I'm ever going to provide on this show. I have no fucking idea what's going to happen. It's so crazy. So crazy. I mean, you got Hillary dropping more bodies than a fucking Army Ranger.
Wow. Oh, my God. Oh,
And
wow.
you know Trump's in the
Wow.
fucking crosshairs.
Wow. Hold on. Wait. So, wait. You said Hillary has a Hitlery
Hillary,
squad.
yes.
Oh, wow. Hitlery. Wow.
She's dropping more bodies than an Army Ranger.
That's okay. So give me the short version, because we know what we've been told.
Okay, well, Trump's been on this slide lately, and it's a combination of the media painting him in a poor light and him not controlling his fucking pie hole.
Oh, hold on. Wait. You said painting Trump in a poor light. Now I'm going to express my opinion. That's kind of like getting mad when somebody like made a crappy painting on a canvas made of shit.
Yeah, but with a comb over.
Oh, wow. Trump does a pretty good. He does a pretty good job of painting himself in a poor light.
Oh, fuck. He doesn't have
Like,
to work.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost.
He makes it easy for them. I'll say that.
I almost wonder if like his marketing person, his campaign manager. isn't playing the
here's
most
my
elaborate
here's
prank
my
ever.
thing. Okay, during the primaries, if you want to say sensational things to get free press, which is exactly what he did, fine. That's great. You're using free press, okay, to get your numbers up, to get your exposure out there. But during the general, man, you got to fucking act presidential. You got to be... I could do a better job, okay? And I'm like the least politically correct motherfucker you'll ever meet, right?
Only because I haven't actually met Trump yet.
Okay, I'll give you that.
See, if I met him, like if he was in the room right now, you guys would be like neck and neck, I guess. I don't know. It'd be all right. Okay, so let me ask you a question, though. Okay, so he says you got to act presidential.
Yes.
Give me the... Where did he go wrong in his playbook? Give that to me. Make me understand that.
He does too much improv too. Like he speaks off the cuff too often.
So you think his script needs
He
to...
needs to use the teleprompter more. I'm not joking. That's a real thing. He really does need to have... He needs to have these speech polishers, corral him around a little bit more, because he's not thinking the full spectrum of what he's saying and how it's going to hit multiple different people from multiple different backgrounds before he says it.
But, okay, did you think maybe that the reason that he is campaigning the way he is because he knows that his audience is very narrow, but numerous?
I think he does, but at the same time, I think the guy could do a good job. I mean, Lord knows he can't do any worse than old Bummer.
Oh, wow.
But at the same
hate
time,
is real.
and it's not because he's black. It's because he's a Marxist pig.
Wow.
But, I mean, we're in an economic crisis. Who better to bring us out of this than a guy that has had, 210 successful businesses and only had 4 of them fail? I mean, that's exemplifying the liberal media and what they do to his stories. Oh, Trump filed bankruptcy 4 times. Well, out of 210, that's pretty good fucking odds. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. And keep in mind,
most of us haven't even started one business, let alone 210.
hey, I'm working on one.
We're trying now, but
I'm
it's like there's a lot of people out there that'll never even attempt it.
That's... my backup plan is to put vending machines full of Funyuns outside of head shops.
Yeah,
that's my backup plan.
It's brilliant. Brilliant.
But it is. I think that's my fallback. That's going to be the retirement plan. But no, I get what you're saying as far as having 210 businesses and then having only 4 of those fail and flop. Okay?
Yes.
The media only expressed the 4 that flopped.
Exactly.
Because up until you just said that now, had no idea he started that many successful businesses.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to assume 210 is kind of a high number for recognized businesses. I'll even count maybe 10 of those as being Amway based or related in some way.
A Ponzi scheme.
I'll give that. Okay. But still, even if there were only 10 total and 6 of the, were successful, that's still more than half. And that still shows work, dedication, and some sort of know-how.
Absolutely.
But how does that apply to running a country? Because a country's goals are different than a business's.
Absolutely. And that's where we're going wrong. There's too much cronyism. There's too much corruption. There's too much backyard barbecue deals divvying up this country. I mean, that's literally what these people that are embedded in Washington do. They get together on the weekends outside of the Congress or the Senate, and they slice and dice this country like deli meat.
So, let me ask you a question. How do we fix that?
Term limits on everybody, from the top to the bottom.
But if a term limit is already imposed, if you know that it's coming, okay, and you already know that you're getting into office,
you make the term short.
So basically, make it too short for them to stack paper and cash out.
Yeah, exactly. You make it so short that they don't have time to embed themselves, like, current Congress and Senate have decades to do this.
Okay.
And they have no term limits. Now, as long as they keep getting elected, they in there.
Okay, so now, but when you're saying embed themselves, okay, when you're saying embed themselves, I'm assuming that you mean put themselves in a position where they can, have their positions taken advantage of by lobbyists, by big oil, big corporations.
Let me send your family on vacation, and you guys can think about how you're going to vote on this next thing.
Right. Okay, so now my next question becomes, okay, let's say that for now the term limit's 4 years. So they know that they've got the 4 years to embed themselves in. So these businesses know that they're basing this on a plan that involves them being there 4 years.
Well, you definitely have to make it illegal to lobby in order for the term limits to work. And that should be a given. I don't even understand how we even let lobbying become legal.
I believe that was when the country got broke. I think that's
right around that time, probably. Yeah. I really, honestly, I think a lot of the extraction of resources and the redistribution of resources from the people to the governing bodies started happening around World War II, when the war machine was gearing up, when we were really spending money on offense.
Now, let me ask you this. Given that we know that lobbying is bad, okay, how do the businesses that are actually doing things that benefit society, not necessarily for a buck, but doing well enough where they can continue to provide, such as I don't want to say all pharma, but some pharmaceutical companies, cancer research, things like that. How do we bubble sort that stuff to the top to get that stuff the most funding and put money back where it matters without lobbying?
It should be decided by the scientists. Same as car companies should be run by engineers, not bean counters.
I can agree with that to a certain extent.
Yeah. Hey, can we move on to the Thin Blue Line? Your favorite segment?
We sure can.
Okay.
You keeping me on task?
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm trying to.
I like that.
So, I'm on this website. It's called The Right Scoop.
Right.
And they have several Twitter stories that are positive about law enforcement. Catherine Wilkinson, Ms. Trisket, said she was speeding to the ER with a sick daughter. Cop pulls her over, sees what's happening, escorts her, and radios ahead to the ER.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
Allowed her to continue speeding.
Nice.
With his full code 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
I like that too.
I like that. See, you want to hear more stories like this. And that's why I'm excited about this segment. I'm excited about the segment because you want to hear more stuff like this. The media has polarized, police interaction with, the people at large. And it's just turned so ugly.
So ugly, so fast.
Yes.
I mean, the other night, what was it? The officers in Ferguson had to deal with the protesters for Black Lives Matter for a thug that charged a cop and got himself killed in the process. I mean, he just got done robbing a convenience store. Yeah,
Let's
you know,
see.
Michael Brown. So
There's-
yesterday in Granite City was held a fundraising event for the officer that was shot in Baldwin.
Okay.
They were handing out swag in exchange for donations to help this this cop that was shot in Baldwin. He's going to be breathing through a tube for the rest of his life, and he needs a lot of special support. And yeah,
Man, that's. We were having a conversation about this, and you had put it so poignantly. At the end of the day, everybody wants to go home.
yes. At the end of the day, everybody wants to go home, criminal or cop, and we all need to realize that it's just another human doing a job.
Right.
And sometimes they have bad days, just like everybody at their job. You know, you could catch a guy on duty right after he got divorced, and they know that they're supposed to be unbiased and not let that bleed into their job, but they're human too.
I've shared my opinion often of how I believe this situation went bad to worse, and I've made no friends by stating it, and I'll let it go here. But I'll jot it down for you sometime. It's an interesting read. Give me another one.
Okay, let's see.
Because see, here's
okay, Rockin' Robin on Twitter at GreenEyes0084
gotcha.
says, as a young single woman, I had a stalker. The police would meet me at my apartment after work to check for monsters and reassure me.
Nice.
Hashtag blue stories.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You know what? Give me another one. I want to try.
One more? Okay.
Yes. These are too good, man. You can't just gloss over this.
Okay.
Give me another.
Okay. Polly on Twitter at Polly410 was involved in a rollover at 17, was trapped in his car. And the officer that responded laid on the ground next to him in oil and gas and transmission fluid that the car was leaking everywhere, and laid there, and they talked about baseball to keep him calm until the jaws of life could get there.
Nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
They should be admired. They do a job that 99% of us out there can't do effectively.
And again, that goes back to what I'm saying. I think that the increased demand for police, I think that the increased demand due to just the way that neighborhoods and cities have gotten, have kind of forced people to have to become cops faster, with less training, and
less experience.
Yes.
They just get thrown to the wolves. I mean, sometimes in St. Louis City, a guy could be, 6 months out of the academy, and they just shove him out into the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Here's your precinct. It's in North City.
Right. And the problem is when you don't have the benefit of experience lessons being passed to somebody who is charged with, keeping others safe. When that happens, it makes for a bad recipe. When you combine things like that with places that don't have a lot of money for training and resources and extra staff and things like that, it makes for a bad situation, all the way around.
Or proper equipment. I'm a big fan of body cams, and from what I've heard, local law enforcement around here are a big fan of body cams because if you're a good officer, you have nothing to worry about. You actually want a body cam because it will totally, show the situation of every interaction that you have all day long. The problem is those things cost a lot of money.
Which goes back to, we're throwing money to make something better, but we're not putting it where it actually mattered. 100 years ago, cops didn't need body cams.
100 years ago, they didn't need armored cars either.
So there's my point. As the problem has gotten worse, so too have we as a public and the police as an entity of protection have to move things forward and get ugly with it.
Well, that's the problem. We come full circle about media manipulation again, because the media manipulates and shows law enforcement in a poor light, paints them in a bad light. I mean, it's so frustrating, especially to have friends that are cops that work really hard every day, and they want to go home to their families.
It's again something very poignant that I saw online, and I saw this like years ago, but it again has started to surface again, and it was a police officer pleading, don't teach your kids when they're bad that they're just going to go to jail and that we're here to take them to jail and that's our job.
No, they're
Okay.
leaving out the protect and serve part.
Right. Not to say that if you see a cop, you're going to go to jail. Because if that kid is lost and alone, if that kid is in some kind of trouble, the kid needs to know that there is somebody that they can trust to go and help them. I think it's the purpose of the uniform. It's like the universal symbol for this person can get you out of some shit if you're in some shit.
Yes, they're paid to keep you safe.
Right. And so when the image of that becomes sullied and then it passed down to kids, and that's what happens. The image becomes sullied. That image is then passed down to kids, which then again becomes even a more difficult. So you're right. 100 years ago, we didn't need armored cars, and in 100 years we'll wonder how we ever got by without tanks.
How we got through this.
Yeah, and that's the ugliest part of it all.
Yeah, and this is where it starts.
Yes,
is positive media coverage of law enforcement.
Well, hopefully we can achieve that. We can achieve that.
I'm hopeful.
Yes. So moving right along.
My favorite part of the segment is where Freeze carries my ass.
Oh,
it's called Crazy Shit That Happened.
Crazy shit that happened. So I'm pulling my notes here, and give me just a second because, of course, my browsers have been acting crazy all day.
Do it.
Well, hell of a show earlier. So that stuff was just live.
Tanya, you were so fucking wrong for bringing Jack in the Box while I'm trying to do a talk radio show. That was just so wrong.
And
You're going to pay for that later.
And Jack in the Box, if you'd like to sponsor with us here on Conservative is Not a Curse Word.
You were more than welcome to do so.
Sponsor us with food.
So, and though I hate to report as this, though I hate to report this in contrast to, what we've accomplished, it only goes to illustrate the polarization of media in regard to this. Now, this was an article that was on Broadly Vice, okay, and it has to do with a young lady named Tori Herr. She's 18. Apparently, she had told the guards at the detention center, the jail where she was in Pennsylvania. She told them,
Oh, I heard this story.
yes, she was like, I'm going to go in dangerous heroin withdrawals if I'm not treated, if I'm not looked after.
Sure.
Okay. 18-year-old Victoria Tori Herr died in a Pennsylvania jail following heroin withdrawal. Her family says that this could have been easily avoided with just the minimum amount of medical attention.
Yeah, what is the drug that they give them? Methadone?
It's methadone to take them
to bring them down?
Well, no, it's Narcan if they've overdosed.
If they're ODing, yeah.
If they OD, then they're given Narcan, which pretty much just counteracts the heroin in the bloodstream. And keep in mind, Suboxone and methadone, those are tools that are used to wean one from heroin to transition them into not having to take in opiates anymore.
Not to break into your story, but I have been told by U.S. soldiers that the Taliban actually encourages the locals to grow more opium. They consider it an attack on us, as they're flooding our streets with heroin and killing our children.
Mm-hmm.
And they consider it an attack on us. They're doing it on purpose.
Why I felt I could bite an onion ring just now, I have no idea. But
You're
I did
a
it.
dick.
Anyway.
If you were close enough, I would dick punch you.
See. Did you say, oh, snap, it got real? Okay, you're done here. So, yeah. Now, there's been a wrongful death lawsuit filed. And this is where problems come in. Because, see...
Is it a he said, she said now? Is that what it went? Is that where it went?
Anything that becomes litigious is an he said, she said. Because people are going to say enough to not have to pay money, and people are going to say enough to try to get paid money.
Right.
And that's how lawsuits work. And that's how they're apparently supposed to. Because, no one cares about the actual truth anymore.
No, it's what you can prove.
Right. Why I think this particular case is tragic is because now anybody that is suffering from this level of addiction is less likely to even bother with trying to tell somebody about it.
Right.
And when that happens, that too will end up painting law enforcement, correction officers, jailers, people charged with that responsibility, because they're charged with keeping us just as safe as, the cops on the streets.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
They are cops. They're just rotating in.
Yeah. I want the guy that's on the wall at the prison to be every bit as qualified as the guy writing me the ticket.
Sure.
I need that to happen.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because they are keeping bad people in bad places.
Yes.
Okay. But it also paints them in a negative stigma, because that's on the other side of that negative incident that you had with the police and so on and so forth. It's not, it's never been just about, being shot or killed or anything like that. It's not new, but it's the new hot media thing right now.
Yeah. It's the bandwagon. It's what's selling.
Right. Now, when stories like these start to hit, that next phase of that legal system that, thugs don't want to be in, don't want to be part of, that too is going to be painted in a negative light, and that shouldn't either. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't get put in a box for no reason, though.
I can agree to an extent. I can agree to an extent. I've seen too many personal instances of people receiving sentences and judgments against them are far more egregious than their proposed crime or bad act.
Sure. I mean, because all crimes are not created equal.
Yeah, no, not even a little bit. Because
you can get locked up for forgetting to pay a speeding ticket.
Yeah. And
if you get locked up in North County, it could be for a month.
Right.
Eating bologna sandwiches and drinking Sunny D, bitch.
But that's right. But that's scary, because you're looking at, okay, now I'm locked up. Now I can't work.
You got nothing.
I might lose my job.
You're fired.
My family is stressed.
You're fired.
Okay, it's.
Okay, I'll pick it up.
No, I've actually got you right here. Okay. I was pulling this one. So, here we go. We're talking about crazy stuff that happens. India's new child labor law, it doesn't actually ban child labor.
No.
Yeah.
Does it encourage it?
Through the Indian government has technically made the labor for children under 14 illegal, adolescents are still allowed to work for their family members in potentially harsh and unregulated environments. That is...
The heck was that?
That was my phone. People are texting into the show.
Nice.
Yeah, see?
That's sweet.
Yes.
Can I see him?
I'm working on that. I haven't read the text yet. You realize how many buttons and things I have going on?
Have we had any comments in the chat room by chance?
I have not. However, I have the post up, and you know what? Everybody has the phone number. It's right there on the speaker page for everybody to call in. And that's going to be 732-474-7393. 732-474-7393.
Excellent.
So, yeah. Okay. Apparently, they addressed this back in 86 and was like, yeah, no, kids under 14, they can't work. Then they let them all work.
Just all of them. Just
whatever. They wrote it on paper. They said they can't work.
Don't worry about your fucking diaper. Get to work, kid.
Right. And then they worked them. Then, yeah.
That's deplorable.
Yeah.
I mean, I started my first job when I was 11 years old, working for my dad. I think 11 for light duty and hanging out with your pop, that's okay. Seriously, I mean, it partially made me the man I am today. I mean,
I get you.
I had the nicest bike on the block.
I get you.
You know, I had a $500 bike that I bought myself.
Are you ready for my last piece of crazy stuff?
Bring it.
According to a new study, people with both high and low intelligence are prejudiced. The difference is just who they're prejudiced against. Serious? Yes.
Wow.
There's researchers, apparently, they researched almost 6,000 people, 5,914 to be exact. Okay. And they said they're going to call this experiment Answering Unresolved Questions About the Relationship Between Cognitive Ability and Prejudice. removing value judgments about whether a person's specific prejudice is justified or not, how they measured the amount of prejudice present in groups of higher cognitive ability and lower cognitive ability. So basically, people who dislike people who are different than them, they said in an interview, derogating people with different worldviews can help maintain the validity of their own worldview. In other words, if you see the world one way, you may rely on that perspective, so you would reinforce the idea that you're right by believing the other worldviews are wrong.
That seems logical.
Well, to put it another way, the guy that's in the woods that thinks that all of the brown people are here to ruin America, okay, they see the worldview in one way. Now, while all the brown people, maybe not all the brown people, but most of my friends are just trying to get along and be peaceful and whatnot, only that guy's not seeing that.
Well, he didn't have any exposure to it.
And what he's been exposed to is seen one way.
Right.
And so I just thought that was really strange in and of that is directly proportional to apparently how educated a person is.
Well, sure, because if you ask a liberal that's been in college for 10 years to get their degree, you ask them, I'm a crazy gun-toting redneck. Because they don't see the world like I see it, and I don't see the world like they see it. But I try. See, that's the difference. Is I try to see the world like they do. That's what makes you a conservative. Is conservative in your ways of thinking, conservative in your ways of adopting what could be an illogical or bullshit perception on a subject. Is doing your research, checking your facts.
Now, let me ask you a question. Because this is my question. This has always been my question. When you do the research, how do you sift through the crap to get the gold?
You find commonality amongst many different sources.
But doesn't big media do that, kind of?
They do, but they are paid to be biased. So they're only going to show the side that their sponsors want you to see.
Quick quiz. Who's in whose pocket?
Who's in whose pocket?
Give it to me now. Who's in whose pocket? We'll start at the top. Fox. I couldn't even. Fox seems to. Whose pocket is Fox in?
It seems to the RNC and the NRA. I mean, that's the bias that I'm seeing from them. Not that. And I don't want to be bashing on Fox, especially Fox News Radio or anything like that.
We're not bashing. We are. I'm asking. Okay, fine. We won't say who's in whose pocket.
Their listener base. They're biased to their listener base, and their listener base buys into largely into the RNC and NRA and people of Republican persuasion.
Okay, fair enough. CNN.
I think it's an amalgamation of left and middle.
Okay.
As far Democrat or middle of the aisle Republicans.
All right. MSNBC. Ooh, this ought to be good. I heard the breath. I heard all the wind suck out of you just then.
I don't think you can get much more liberal
with MSNBC. Wait.
I mean, you got.
Give it to me.
Dreadlock having.
Uh-oh.
One world wanting.
Uh-oh.
Socialist, fascist, Marxist pigs.
Okay. That's MSNBC, right?
Now tell me how you really feel.
Right. Wow.
Oh, if they had their way, there would be one world currency. And I think there was a book, they mentioned something about that being bad.
What, one world currency?
Yeah, I think there was a really important book that people hold up a lot.
Well, wait. Why was it bad? I don't get it.
I don't know. I think in that particular book it was marked as, it was the mark of the beast.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm on a whole nother level.
We're not going to get into
I'm
religion.
on a whole nother level.
We're going to let that one go. Let's
pump
move
the
on.
brakes on
Let's move on.
Freeze
it
may
time-
have been
is it-
actually wondering what book it was.
Let's move on.
Is it time for our game? Is it? I in my head I nicknamed it Animal Crackers, but I think you called it Donkey or Elephant.
It's donkey or elephant.
Donkey or elephant.
Meat and potato politics.
Yes.
And there will be
Speaking-
no interspecies erotica. It's just
That's
a talk
not what
show.
I signed on for. Okay, we're out.
It's just a talk show.
No interspecies erotica?
None.
All right, well, that's been the show. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Hey, let me give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Walters Foreign Car Service, serving Brentwood for almost 60 years, servicing all European and Japanese vehicles. They are located at 2828 Brentwood Boulevard in Brentwood, Missouri. You can call Ray, a second-generation owner, at 314-962-2352. That's Walters Foreign Car Service.
You're going to have to get me all that info.
Okay.
And we can get him a commercial.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's going down.
Have a Porsche revving in the background or something.
Walter, we got you.
We got it.
Mm-hmm. So,
Okay.
all right.
Well,
So hook me up with the meat and potatoes.
the meat and potatoes. I want to get started with my friends, some business associates that I had made some stuff for them on the water jet when I used to run a water jet machine.
Nice.
The website's called tacticalshit.com.
Oh, nice.
Yes, they are located in Old Town, St. Charles. I don't have the address in front of me. You'll find them. Just Google tacticalshit.com. Apparently, Facebook rolled out a new algorithm
Oh, no.
that targets pro-Second Amendment and pro-law enforcement website pages, more specifically ones that have a commercial nature to them. And my buddy TJ over there said that Facebook pulled his Tactical Shit page, which they source a lot of their revenue and web traffic from that Facebook page.
Right.
Over the course of 36 hours, he lost $40,000 in revenue, which really hurts because he almost exclusively employs retired veterans of the combat veterans. Most of them are. I've met them. They're all really great bunch of guys. TJ himself is former law enforcement in North County. So he's really trying to do good things. He's another one of those people that encourages positive stories about law enforcement.
Now, tell me this situation is being fixed. Like, tell me that.
Well, after a lot, Facebook received a lot of negative emails, like, quickly. And they were allowed to put their page back up, but they gave them no explanation whatsoever. And Tactical Shit is not TJ's only endeavor on Facebook. And the other one, I believe he said that the other one was unaffected, but he noticed that there's an increase in them trying to impede what they're doing on Facebook. And it's really, I don't see it as a good thing on any direction.
And they gave no explanation as to why they pulled it, anything like
They
that.
gave no explanation
Did
whatsoever.
And they'll probably claim it as like a TOS issue, terms of service type thing.
Yeah, and they still haven't.
How long was he operating before they pulled it?
Oh, he's had that site up for years.
Yeah,
years and years and years. I
So
mean, it's been
yeah.
there for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a lot of followers. I don't know. I don't have it right here in front of me, but they have a lot of followers. Me being one of them, which led me to actually being a vendor for stuff that I made for him, designed and made.
Nice.
So let's see. Moving on.
Give me more.
Well, another Clinton associate found dead.
Oh no.
Bill and Hillary's count increases. Like I said earlier, she drops more bodies than a Navy,
Here we go.
fucking Army Ranger.
So what? Okay, what the hell happened here?
So the body count now is 46 in the last 3 decades.
Jesus.
Yeah. I've met hitmen in New York that didn't have those numbers.
Damn. Wow.
And that's saying something. So apparently this guy, he worked for the DNC, and it was found that he was the guy leaking some of the DNC emails to WikiLeaks Julian Assange, and they mysteriously found him shot for no reason, dead. Another one dead.
Just dead.
Just dead.
Where did they find him?
In his apartment, shot. And he had no known involvement in any kind of crime whatsoever. He was squeaky clean. And naturally, the Washington, D.C. Police Department promptly dropped the investigation and called it a homicide, and it got put into the bottom of the stack.
Your take on it?
Well, like I said, Hillary Clinton dropped some more bodies than an Army Ranger.
But why? Motive.
Oh, motive.
Uh-huh.
Well, I would say to make a statement, you know, you go against me, you die. It's a power play. I mean, mobsters have been doing it for years. You make a move on the throne and you get dead.
But surely she has to know that she would get caught.
Are we talking about the same person?
Yes, I know that there's a little snafu with
Teflon Clinton?
nothing sticks to her.
Nothing, dude.
Or her dress.
Nothing.
So
they got stuff saying that she's giving him this money and stuff. Really? Is she still running?
I got nothing. Okay, so
She was kicked off the Watergate thing because she was crooked.
wow.
I mean, that's fucking crooked, bro. If you getting kicked off the fucking Watergate investigation, dude, you are crooked as fuck.
Well, hold on. There was a lot of people not crooked that you know, like Nixon kind of cleaned house there. That one, you remember? He was like, "Hey, fire that guy." Dude was like, "No, I'm not gonna fire him." He was like, "Okay, well then you're fired."
Okay.
Then he calls in the next guy. "Okay, you go fire him." "No, I'm not gonna fire him." "Okay, well then you're fired." Okay, it took Nixon firing like 3 or 4 people before he found the guy that would finally fire the other guy.
I'm not a crook.
I mean, can you imagine how that conversation went? So what are you going to do when you go in there? I'm going to fire that fool. I'm keeping my job. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Okay.
Give it to me.
Moving on.
Teflon
another
Hillary.
another young man was shot in Milwaukee.
What? Oh.
Yeah. He was charged with first-degree reckless endangering safety with a witness intimidation. And that happened in February 15.
Okay.
A Milwaukee officer was trying to apprehend him, and, he felt his life was threatened, so he had to shoot the young man. Well, last night, as a result, there were riots in Milwaukee. Burning cars, people rioting in the streets.
So par for the course.
Par for the course.
Because
We see too much of this. It's madness. Why does this keep getting perpetrated?
I don't... Part of me wants to say that people do that because they feel that if they do that and the news coverage comes, that it will highlight the incident which they're trying to call their attention to, that they're trying to say, hey, this is bad. The problem is it's like all kinds of negative attention. It's like trying to get your girlfriend to love you by smashing all her snow globes. It doesn't work.
It's the same thing as Hillary trying to bash Donald Trump because Pooty Poot doesn't.
Oh, here we go.
Pooty Poot doesn't. He doesn't like Hillary. He likes Trump though, because he knows he's gonna make money off of Trump. Old Pooty Poot.
Okay, first of all,
crossover.
First off, your Pooty Poot privileges are revoked. I have to just no. I will never call it. He's got those beady little eyes. I can't call him Pooty
Trump
Poot.
has small hands.
There's a little baby Asian hand.
Hey, did you know that there's a website? I don't have the address in front of me, but there's a website where you can download a PDF of Trump's hand, and you can print it out life size and compare your hand to his.
Are you? Why does money get wasted on? Somebody is still sick from some debilitating disease
said he
in
had
a
small
bed
hands.
somewhere.
Somebody said he had small hands.
So then there's an app for that?
Now there's an app for that.
I am humanity failed today.
Humanity. Oh,
Humanity failed today. Tomorrow's a do-over. Today's numbers are not good.
I haven't done it yet, but it sounds like a good bit of fun.
Don't you encourage this bullshit at all. Did you say John? No. We won't be printing that one out either.
We won't be going there.
No. Ink is expensive.
I want people to be able to play this show in their car with their kids in the car.
I can't do it.
All right. So do we want to move on to final thoughts?
I want to move off of Trump's hand.
Okay, let's move off of Trump's hand.
Let's move off of Trump's hand.
Hey, if you sit on his hand long enough, does it become the stranger?
No, that hand is a stranger in coming in. I'm so upset I'm very upset by the fact that he could possibly be our president.
Why? What is so bad about Trump? Can I ask you that? What, seriously, and base this on fact. Don't bias it one way or the other. What is so bad about Trump? Seriously. Neither did Obama. He spent 6 months in the Senate in Illinois? For Illinois?
There's something to be said for climbing up the ladder fast.
Yeah.
Obama had a broomstick up his ass, okay?
I mean, I'm just saying, if you get a job at McDonald's in January and you're shift leader by April, you're not doing bad.
Anyway, move on. Why is Trump so bad?
It is not that I believe that he will be bad. But the problem being is that his image going into this office, which is itself an image, because it's not like all the power rests with the one man. We're doing final thoughts,
by the way.
Yeah, I know. And this is my final thought.
Go for it. Bring it.
The image of the President of the United States is that it is an image. All the power and all the decision-making does not rest with the one man. He is a figurehead. He is the guy that comes out to the counter and says, hey, I'm sorry your meal was messed up. Here's a coupon for another. Okay? That's the president's job. Trump has the attitude like when you show up to tell him that your meal is messed up, that he's going to tell you to F off and move on. And we cannot have a president that will approach things with that kind of crassness. I don't believe that he has the sensitivity to hold that office. You have to be.
Neither did Teddy.
Roosevelt?
Yeah.
No. He had the sensitivity. He understood how to temper it.
Well, okay, I'll give you that one.
Okay, and that's where the balance is. Not many presidents have been able to temper being human with having to be this robot, this figurehead.
Andrew Jackson got in a fist fight in a bar while being president.
Okay. The point being is we're quick to blame the one person. And Trump doesn't seem like the kind of guy that will respond well to receiving that blame.
I'll give you that. But you also, at the same time, have to take into consideration that when he does become POTUS, he will have handlers that keep him tempered.
They can't keep him tempered now.
My argument is they don't want to.
Then at some point you have to wonder if some sort of self-sabotage within his campaign is in effect.
Yeah.
I mean... And dare I say it, with Hillary pulling off so much ish, who is to say that Trump isn't literally her trump card? Put a ringer in the ring.
Yeah.
That's been an ongoing thought.
Yeah, it has. I agree, Phil.
I mean, that's the only explanation that makes sense of every bit of the madness that we have seen.
So do you? What you're trying to imply is that maybe the Hillary Clinton Foundation is donating a bunch of stuff to Trump causes?
What I'm saying is, I think that she is letting Trump have just enough rope to hang himself, though he thinks he's probably going to get to hang someone else. And that's the only reason he's holding the rope to begin with. And I think that Hillary is feeding him that rope and giving him just enough to choke on it. But I promise you, before long, I'm going to call it out at like a month, something blatantly devastating is going to happen in the Trump camp. Mark my words.
Well, and I've actually seen a lot of static on the interweb about people believing that there's going to be some sort of natural disaster or a false flag that happens before the election so that Obama gets another term.
No.
And this is all a dog and pony show, and there'll be totally different candidates at another time. Because we can't legally, we cannot hold a presidential election with nationwide martial law enacted. That's the law.
So you think that's the direction that
I think that's where it's going.
So igniting all of these incidents, igniting all of these protests that eventually become riots, protests that people are calling riots, and everything in between.
Yeah.
You think that all of this is just little pockets of civil unrest designed to finally bring the hammer down and say, okay, that's it. We're going with martial law. Boom.
Yep.
And then once martial law is in effect, Obama can just go ahead and just throw away the keys on the election.
Pretty much, yep. Has to illegally. We cannot hold a presidential election under federal martial law.
Quick thought, true answer, unbiased. Who's at the top of that food chain? Whose idea is that?
George Soros.
Reason?
Why does George Soros do what George Soros does?
I don't know. I don't even know that dude. You owe me money?
He's a Hungarian-born dual citizen with lots and lots of jangle in his pockets.
Okay, now
so he just makes shit happen however he wants to.
Hold on, because I know that you've looked at the numbers of like the wealth of the top 1% and how it really scales upward very, very sharply.
Yeah, at the top of the list is Rothschilds.
So when you say lots and lots of jangle, understand that you're talking to me in my basement right now.
Unfathomable amounts of money. Like
you can just go out and spend all kinds of stupid money, you'll never run out.
If he spent money as fast as he possibly could every waking minute of his life, he could never run out of money.
At that point, there is no point for money.
Exactly.
At that point, you just should be required to wear a vest that just says, "I rule you all,"
or have to,
and then just give me what I want.
Well, I think the Congress and senators should have to wear NASCAR jackets. Who their sponsors are?
Oh wow, that would make the Senate look so colorful.
Yeah, it would.
Brought to you by Petco.
Oh wow. Just
a big old Monsanto fucking patch on the back of dude's jacket.
I'm having Ricky Bobby flashbacks right now.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. If you don't chew Big Red, fuck you.
Really?
I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Okay, so that's my final thoughts.
So
I want to thank everybody who tuned in today. It's been a really great show. It went better than I thought it would, and to be quite honest, I was nervous going live.
You shouldn't have been nervous. We got this. I told you.
It was good.
It was very organic, very informative. Actually, I feel good that I'm part of something smart.
Nice.
Thank
you. Appreciate
that. I like being part of smart stuff. Smart stuff is good.
So, isn't It Is What It Is? They go on right before me, right?
Yes, It Is What It Is. Right here on the Zero G Network, along with Conservative is not a curse word. We're running them back to back on Sundays. Yes, we are. It Is What It Is comes on at 11:30 a.m. That runs till around 1-ish, 1:30ish. Sometimes we run late.
Oh, you ran long today.
Crystal's right. Well, it was
a special day.
You guys had Riot Radio in the studio.
Yes. Darren Yates, Donnie Blake of Riot Radio. Mandy X Ray of Social X.
She's so hot. she definitely doesn't have a face for radio.
She's very, very lovely lady. And then Nick Mann, also local music artist.
Let's talk about Nick for just a minute while we've got one more minute.
We got Nick. A couple.
What was his foundation again?
That's Hero Inside or Hero Inside.
HeroInside.org.
It's like a double. It's like a double spelling. It's basically if you spell the word Hero Inside or Heroin Side, like either way.
It's a play on words. Okay.
It is. It's
It's a very nice play on words.
And I was really impressed with his artwork. I mean, he's a really impressive rapper. I was like blown away.
Yeah, he very talented. When I contacted X about today's show, and she asked if we did music and whatnot, because she actually is a lead singer of a whole nother band.
Oh, okay.
So when and the name is escaping me at a moment because I know she was lead singer of one, and then I think she had moved to another band or something like that, or maybe reconnected with them. Not exactly sure, but for whatever reason. So I thought that, originally when she had asked about music, that she was going to bring me, something that she had done, and she's like, no, I've got this guy, his name's Nick, and he's done some really cool stuff. So she sent me over the first song with the So Ill. And I just dug it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's... So
whoever he's got making beats for him, they're good. Yeah. They're good at what they do.
Yeah, it's good, high production value. I really liked the videos.
The videos were high production. Not very, very high quality.
But nonetheless, aside from
you can find him on YouTube. What's his name again?
That Nick Man.
Nick
with
Man,
Doorway.
yes.
And I'll provide links for all of that. But he started this foundation to basically help people to seek drug addiction treatment.
Yeah, get a spot in a rehab center.
Yes, get a spot in a rehab center. If it came down to it, paying for burials and things like that. But just basically to ease the pain that
he's trying to help. I mean, he's actually doing something. A lot of us talk, talk. But very few of us actually stand up and do something about it, and I think that was really great.
Yes, and he's using his art to do that.
Yes, he's sacrificing his time and using his art as a way to reach out to people and say, hey, heroin's killing our kids.
Right.
And it needs to stop.
And we were appreciative that he came down. And it was fun for everybody. That's Alan showing up. He says he never got my text message. I don't know. But
he just showed me his text log.
I ain't arguing about that. Anyway.
We're running out of time.
Dude, I own this. We're never running out of time.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to be the clock Nazi over here.
I didn't mean to pull it all like that, but that's basically what it is.
Freeze is like, I own this shit.
Right. I'm like,
it's my house.
Right.
If I want to give you more time, I'll give you more time.
Right.
That's my house.
You will sit here and talk. You will talk more words. So, yeah, no, and the reason that I wanted to fully express how important today is because, like I said, it's been a big day at first.
It has.
We're debuting CINAC. That's my little acronym for conservative is not a curse word.
Conservative is not a curse word.
Conservative is not a curse word. I wanted this to debut. I wanted it to debut on a big day. I appreciate that. I wanted it to occur on a day when everybody was going to be here, and
the residual energy that was left in the room was wonderful.
We knew that the roof was going to come off this place.
Oh, and it was still off when I got here.
And see, here's what I did for extra surprise factor. I only told certain people that certain people were coming.
Yeah,
nobody knew about everybody coming.
Nice.
The only people, well, Crystal and Phil. I told Crystal because I needed Jeffrey to bring microphones. I told Phil because it was his birthday and he was drunk, and I thought he was going to forget.
Oh, I did forget.
But nonetheless, yes, and Fro of the AV Lab really came through for us.
Yeah,
and just all around, just good energy in the studio today. I'm going to be on the high from today for just ever. It's just going to be
hopefully long enough awesome for you to remember to do some more research for next week's show.
I can work that out. But nonetheless, want to thank each and every one of the listeners for joining us on the debut episode.
Danke.
Yes, danke. Thank you for listening to Conservative is Not a Curse Word.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to get you in on time as soon as we can figure out which direction we're going. Apparently, there's big things and locations happening and whatnot with regard to the shows. And
we're taking this shit on the road.
We're working on it, yes. But nonetheless, thank each and every one of you for listening. Jolton Joe, it has been a pleasure having you in the studio today.
Likewise.
And I look forward to doing this with you every week. Fro, want to thank you. Fro's assistants from the AV Lab.
Thanks, Fro.
Crystal and Phil from Iwi. It is what it is. Thank you
Crystal
for joining us.
Thanks
Alan
for joining
Williams.
Us. Alan Williams.
Thank you for having me.
My manager and production buddy and just all around handler. He
keeps this motherfucker in check.
He's working real hard to make me famous. I keep trying to tell him I have no talent. It just he will not.
Just
buy
a Barry White voice.
Maybe if I could keep the language curbed, I think I'd be all right.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, thank each and every one of you for joining us. Join us again next week for Conservative is Not a Curse Word.
It's not. It really isn't.